to another edition of Metis Warrior here with Timothy and Alexandria.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody out there in Métis land.
Exactly. So happy New Year, man. We got some stories for you. It's a lot to look into, and we're still looking into a lot of them. Actually, we were not really prepared to do a show today, but we know a lot of people have been asking for a show, so here it is. So one of the things that we want to get started with is the MNC. Where in the hell is the transparency? Let's talk about President Cassidy. We are so disappointed in Cassidy for several reasons. One, she seems to think that the president role is a role, it's a vanity role for her, it seems, because she puts herself out there in so many photos and so many pictures. And it's all about her. It's all about her. It's not about the Métis Nation. It's not about the Métis people. It's about her. And so, proof of this is if you go back and look at the Veterans Tribute video that was done, almost in every frame, you got to see her in the shot. Why does she have to be in almost every scene of that video? If this is a tribute to the veterans, I'm highly disappointed that it seemed like a home video of her on vacation just sightseeing. Nobody wants to look at Cassidy sightseeing. Who the hell wants to see that? This was about the veterans, not about Cassidy. Also, she seems to love to be in pictures. We know that, right? I mean, you see all these pictures. She loves to talk about transparency. Now, we want to clarify what transparency is. Now, in her mind, it may be something that you can see through, like a window. Well, that could be what one version and definition of transparency is, right? Like something that is transparent. But when we talk about transparency, Cassidy, just so you can understand this, we're talking about where the hell is the financials, man? Where is the financial paperwork? Where is the real transparency? You get out there and out your mouth, transparency, transparency. There's no damn transparency, man. That is a bunch of bullshit. Let me just say this. It would, when it seems to us that when Cassidy was selected to be president by the people that voted her in, they looked for the weakest person at the table, somebody that was easiest to control. Number one, and to our friend out there who likes to say, well, she can be mentored into the position. That is not a position that requires mentoring. She should be prepared to damn lead, man. Do you not understand that? She should not have to be mentored. That's just another word of saying she's going to be the puppet for some damn body, man. And we're so aggravated with this situation with the MNC. I can tell you now that it was to replace Chartier, a man who's been so instrumental in helping bring the Métis Nation to where it is, with somebody like Cassidy. Are you kidding me? I mean, we do not need somebody that was the weakest person at the table that they thought was the easiest to control, while other people, it seems, are pulling the strings in the background and really manipulating the situations there. This does not look right to us at all. If this is what it looks like when you replace Chartier with a new president, do you think we want Chartrand replaced? Are you kidding me? There's no way in hell at this point that I would want to say, hey, let's replace Chartrand. I'm not even to the point of wanting to do that at this point because we have been let down so much when Chartier was replaced. I mean, good God, man. I just wish that Chartier would have actually stepped it up and talked to the people, man, because things could have ended up and went so differently if he would have just addressed some of the concerns. If things could have went so differently, man. I mean, so differently. David Chartrand and Clem Chartier is definitely two individuals who has done a lot for the Métis Nation. Now, we had issues with Chartier and Chartrand, and we wanted to see change at the MNC because we wanted to see transparency. but all we hear is somebody saying the word transparency, and it doesn't seem like she knows what the hell the definition of transparency is. Has anybody seen the damn financial records? It's all about Cassidy, 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 getting every damn picture that you can, get up there smiling, take yourself to the news, talk about transparency, right? And that was just a bunch of bullshit because there hasn't been no transparency. This job is to represent the Métis Nation, and clearly the MNC is not representing the Métis Nation at all. This is a letdown. We if you go back and listen to our shows, we were so supportive in getting a new president in there and getting some clarity and getting some change, and then we get slapped in the face. To all our listeners out there, do you think the president of the MNC gives a shit about what you want? She doesn't seem to give a shit that you asking for transparency. What she wants to do is put herself in every shot, every scene that she can put herself into. Like I said with the veterans video, I felt like I was watching her personal home video of her on vacation or something. Come on, man, you ain't got to put yourself in every frame. You don't have to be in every scene. It was about the veterans. It wasn't about the president of the MNC. That was a bunch of horse shit.
And you know what, folks? Uh, there's a lot of turmoil going on with Métis organizations out there at the moment. And I think the thing that really bothered me reading this all over social media, I know Cassidy Karen had a recent meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to discuss the Métis Nation priorities and moving forward on Métis self-government. And this is a comment that I seen, and it kind of rings true.
Hold
And
on before you say that. I know I just talked a lot, but I want to say this. Her meeting with Justin Trudeau, does she need a case of chapstick to pucker up and kiss the ass of Justin Trudeau? This is not about colonialism anymore. This is about the Métis Nation, damn it. Do you not understand that?
And this comment that I seen in response to Cassidy thanking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, it really rings true. And I quote, "A court appointed president reveals the colonial government is dictating our self government process." And an end of quotation. And they were discussing Cassidy's first 100 days in office. And what really bothers me about this first 100 days, and with any
We're going to call that the vanity days, the selfie days. Go ahead.
well, first 100 days in office, and I'm not understanding why financials should have not been on the top priority, because nowhere has there been a mention on what is left from the $30 million from the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund. Who's running the program now? Nothing about 60s Scoop. So,
All right, wait a minute. Before you do that, before you get past that, all right, with the Veterans Fund, I would hope like hell David Chartrand is in control of that right now. I'm saying that. Yeah, that may shock a lot of people that you hear me say that. I say that because Cassidy has not been transparent with that, man. At least David Chartrand went out there and handed out checks to veterans, man. What in the hell has Cassidy done?
but what's left of that 30 million? That's something that I still don't understand. And looking at the last Métis Nation uh, MNC financial statements, March 31st, 2020, at that particular time, uh, there was still over 29 million left from the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund. Where is the rest of the money? And
Is it going to Audrey Portress? That's just the question, folks, because let me tell you something. The fact that they have not released any of this information on where the hell that money is, there's several theories on what could be going on there. Are they going to secretly misappropriate that money? That's one theory. Hey, they got all them millions of dollars. Millions of dollars is a lot of temptation, right? If they have control of it, are they going to misappropriate it? That is a question, a legitimate concern that us people in the Métis communities have. Is that what's going to happen? And that's one reason why I would hope that David Chartrand has control of that money because Cassidy is not being transparent right now. And it's a huge letdown. And everybody that voted her in there, you did it for your own good. You didn't do it for the good of the Métis Nation. Yes.
Yeah, but financials and a paper trail, that's key. I mean, there could have been an audit done in the first 100 days. It's not about meeting with people. Yeah, that's part of it. But where is the money? Where is the paper trail? David Chartrand shouldn't be a part of the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund. They're no longer part of the MNC. What was the transition of power? Who took the responsibility? Who's in charge of the program? There's a lot of unanswered questions that could have been answered in the first 100 days.
Well, you're right. Chartrand shouldn't, by all because that was a part of the MNC, right? So if he's not a part of the MNC anymore, then technically he shouldn't be in control of that money. We agree with that. However, we don't know if that money, that position or responsibility was signed over in a different manner because we don't know jack shit about it. We don't know. We don't know what the hell's going on because Cassidy ain't opened her mouth to give the transparency when she was sitting up there talking about transparency. And I'm so damn sick, man. Like we've been lied to, folks. We were lied to when we were told that transparency was coming by the people that were in our circle. We were told this. Those people lied to us. And the worst thing you can do is bullshit us, man. You don't sit there and bullshit us or use us for a tool for your own damn means. No, if you tell us something, we expect that to happen. And what we've been told has not happened. You do not sit here and bullshit Métis Warrior.
Well, and again, too, in Alberta, recently, the court finds that the Métis Nation of Alberta is not the lone voice for off settlement Métis, and they sided with the province. And
Well, let's address that. Let's repeat what you just said.
it was a recent article where the court finds the Métis Nation of Alberta is not the lone voice for off settlement Métis, and it sided with the province of Alberta. And it just goes on to say again that the Métis Nation of Alberta is not the undisputed voice for Métis people off settlement in the province, and that decision was rendered by the Court of Queen's Bench in Alberta last week. This article was dated January 10th,
And
2022.
and that was a victory for the Métis in Alberta because we know there's been issues with the MNA, Métis Nation of Alberta. We know that. And so that's a victory for all Métis in Alberta that they are not considered a lone voice. Hell no, you're not considered a lone voice. There's problems with Audrey Portress. She's basically slapped every Métis in the face that has had concerns and questions. You spit in the face of your own Métis citizens. So it's about damn time there's other voices for the Métis in Alberta. And I'm happy to hear that victory.
Well, I really think, like I said, what's really going on with the governing members that are under the MNC. Again, there's a lot of turmoil that's going on. Look, as another example, let's talk about the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. Let's
Where the hell is the democracy there, man? What's going on in Saskatchewan? We had two candidates for treasurer come on to our show. We interviewed both of them. One of the candidates got elected as treasurer, and did you know that he resigned from his position because he felt like he was getting not that he was getting paid for something that he was not doing? What the hell kind of shady shit is going on in Saskatchewan right now? That is what I want to know because when we have somebody like Robert, who was treasurer of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, resign, and the devil's in the damn details. What the hell is really going on? Who is the treasurer?
Well, that's again a lack of transparency because we were told their resignation was as of December 31st, 2021.
No mention of it.
No mention. The Métis Nation of Saskatchewan has not mentioned that their treasurer has submitted a letter of resignation. Isn't that news that Métis people should be made aware of? Why are they not making that public? Is there a
McCollum, why the
reason?
hell are you sitting on that stuff? Why ain't you putting out there that your treasurer stepped down because he felt like he was getting paid to do a job, but he wasn't doing the job that he was getting paid and elected to do, and he stepped down because he didn't feel like it was honest or right to still be in that position. What in the hell is going on in Saskatchewan, man? And when you look at these are the same people that were sitting there, were they not, who helped put Cassidy in power?
That's right. And there was an article again, January 17th, 2022, where the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan president says has big plans for 2022. Well, what are maybe the big plans should be transparency and
Transparency.
accountability, where you're telling your citizens in Saskatchewan that your treasurer has submitted their letter of resignation as of December 31st. Isn't that pertinent information? Isn't that what being transparent is all about?
They don't know.
What are you waiting for
They don't
to
know that.
release that information? I'm not understanding where this is all coming from, because again, I don't get why details are being hidden and not
Hidden.
released to Métis people. I mean, is that a transparent government? I shudder to think that.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think that that's a transparent government. I'm really concerned with what's going on with the MNC. I'm really concerned on what's going on with the Métis Nation of Alberta. And now I'm extremely concerned about what the hell is going on in Saskatchewan. And folks, if you know us, we've been very supportive of everything, the movement that was going on, the change that happened, and now we're just like, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even want to do another show. I didn't even want to do another show. I was content with never doing another show, another Métis Warrior show. I was completely content with not doing one because at this point, I mean, there's so much bullshit that's being put out there and much agenda. There is no transparency within people that's even in our own damn circles of people that we were associating with. You tell us one thing and it's not happening, man. You don't bullshit people, man. And this is not something that we're happy about. We're not happy about it at all. We do want to congratulate Lisa for being elected as president of the Métis Nation of British Columbia. However, we would like to say that there's severe issues with what as things stand right now. And again, I want to say, if Cassidy's replacing Chartier has ended up in the way that this has ended up now, do you think we're going to push for change and get Chartrand out of the office, and we want to push for a new president of the MMF right now? Hell no. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to do that at this point when we've been so let down by these other people? I mean, they talk about transparency, but where the hell is it? It's like, where is the transparency?
And I had seen over social media when Lisa Dawn Smith was elected as the Métis Nation of BC president. I had seen Cassidy personally congratulate her, but I didn't see anything on the MNC congratulating Lisa Dawn Smith on her election. I found
No,
that very odd
that
that
was odd.
Cassidy would do it personally. Like, there's so many things going on behind the scenes. And
A president should be ready to lead and have courage.
is
Cassidy does not seem to have courage. She wants to personally thank Lisa, but the MNC did not congratulate Lisa. I mean, what the hell kind of crap was that, man? And so there's so much. It seems like there's so much hypocrisy as the way things stand right now. And again, the victory in Alberta with the MNA not being the lone voice. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have used our show. They've contacted us. They've accused certain leaders of certain things. We've seen a lot of so-called evidence on this. And then we start to question, what was it that you were really trying to accomplish? Was any of this stuff that we seen, was any of this accurate? Was any of this true? Because every time we got ready to do a story on this, people backed out. Some people seemed like they were getting, all of a sudden found themselves in money. Were you just using our show to try to push your way into getting money through some other kind of means? I don't know. What the hell is going on? It looks like we have been used by certain people, and at this point, you can shut the hell up about your conspiracies, about your accusations about certain Métis leaders out there. I damn don't want to even hear it no more. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't care. I just don't give a shit, because I was content with never doing another Métis Warrior show again, because it's so much bullshit. How many people's contacted us over the last 4 years? 4 years with accusations against certain people, and then all of a sudden to back out when it comes time to release the show. Oh, I don't want to release that. Why? Because was it all bullshit? I mean, we know that there was problems with Chartier, okay? We know that there was problems with Chartrand. But we also know that these are two people who have damn pushed the nation to where it is today. And these people who are stepping up into roles, and they're walking a path that has already been paved. They're walking this paved path. They're not filling the shoes, man. They're not filling, they're not doing the things that they should be doing, and they're not leading the way they should be leading.
And I'll put it in perspective. A national president or a president of a national organization is not a mentorship position. You've got to go in strong, hardcore. You've got to clean up messes, but you've got to be transparent. And I think when I read President Cassidy's first 100-day by the numbers, this part really, really bothered me. And it said number 11 press releases to inform Métis citizens of all Métis Nation activity, ensuring accountability and transparency. Absolute bullshit,
Lies,
because
lies,
since the
lies.
transition,
Bullshit,
I've been
bullshit,
putting
bullshit.
this all over social media. What is happening with the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund, the 30 million, who's in charge, what's left? And Cassidy and the MNC has not answered that question once. And
No.
everybody agrees with me. It's a very uh, good question that deserves an answer, but nobody can provide that answer. And when it comes to money,
They talk about it, but they can't provide it.
well, no, when it comes to money or accountability, the answers take forever. And again, being a leader is not about photo ops, it's about putting your people first and giving them transparency and promised financials. Where are the
Well, yeah, where
financials?
are the financials? And let me tell you something, because we were told after Cassidy got elected, we can mentor her. Well, a president shouldn't need to be mentored again, and we're going to keep saying that. She should have been prepared for the role, and I think by putting as they would say it, a young female into the role, that nobody's going to question that. Oh yeah, she's a young female. Why in the hell did it have to be a young female who's not prepared to lead, man? I mean, tell me that. If she's not prepared to lead, there had to be other young females that had courage, that could exhibit transparency. If you really wanted a young female, and hell, how young is she? I don't even know. But it don't look that young. She don't look that young, so I don't know how young she actually is. But my thing is this, okay? Why would you put somebody in there? I would have rather seen Gerald Moore in there, and this may shock you. I would have rather even seen Will Goudon elected as the MNC president over Cassidy at this point. Because let me tell you something. This I've seen over the last 6 months. I've seen Will progress as a leader. I've seen him get better with what we view as his ethics. I've seen them improve. I've seen huge improvements in Will Goudon, and I can tell you that I think he would make one hell of a leader, because if you look at what the hell's happened in other organizations with the housing programs, Will Goudon has actually done great things as the MMF Minister of Housing. He's done great things, and so this is a man who we've seen mature as a leader, and we deeply regret that Chartier is no longer president of the MNC, even though we wanted him gone because he himself was not being transparent or answering questions. All he had to do, man, was reach out to the people. There would have been change, man. You cannot alienate all the people. Not all of the people will like you. You're gonna have at least what we interviewed a guy named Derek,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, Langan.
Derek Langen. And let me tell you something. That's a guy who has courage. Derek Langen came onto our show. We did a show against Derek Langen, and you know what? He contacted us and he said, "Hey, I'll come on to your show." He didn't ask us what questions we were going to ask him. Nothing. He came onto the show and did the damn interview. The man has courage. He's a great leader. And I'm gonna say that because, and if you don't like it again, I don't give a shit if you don't like what I'm saying because I never have to do another Métis Warrior show. I don't care, man. At this point, what I'm gonna tell you is this: I've seen so much uh, uh, transparency now coming from the other side of the damn fence, man, the other side of the fence. And on our side of the fence, I've seen a lot of backstabbing and hypocrisy, man. So what in the hell is really going on? And we wanted Chartier out of there, yeah. But we did not want Chartier replaced with somebody who had to be mentored as a damn president, man. That when you hear that people say we can mentor her as a president, what they're really saying is we can pull the strings and be her puppet master. And all you people who told us that you can mentor her, guess what? And you know who the hell you are. You can kiss my ass. That's for damn sure. Because I do not like the fact that y'all got up there and picked the person at the table that needed to be mentored. What in the hell happened with Gerald Moore stepping in there and being president? At least we would have had somebody with courage and that could have did the right thing. Instead, now we got somebody who's all about, let me see how many pictures I can get into. Let's do a veterans memorial video and let me get in every frame and every scene. All you did was block the monuments, man. That's all you did.
And you know what, folks? Uh, I don't care what anybody says. It's not about throwing us a bone and veering us in one direction as all this bullshit is happening behind the scenes. The MNC in the first 100 days has not been transparent. There has not been the release of financials. That's a huge, huge problem. Again, it's not about photo ops. There's problems, of course, in the Métis Nation of Alberta with Audrey Portress. The bylaws, the conflict of interest, breach of bylaws. We have elders that do not have proper housing. They're being ripped off by contractors.
But I'd like to say that is not happening in Manitoba. That is not happening in the Will Godin. Let's put it that way, because we see him doing great things in housing. We see that. What in the hell is going on in Alberta? What in the hell is going on in Saskatchewan? You tell me that. When you start betraying your people, man, do not expect support from Métis Warrior, man. You're not gonna get it. And you know what? It's never been about hating the individual. It's been about hating the lack of transparency. It's been about hating the politics. So people can change. We've seen change. We've seen maturity in certain people out there, and we've seen people display proper leadership skills. And we're not seeing that on our side of the fence at this point. And matter of fact, I feel like we've been used by certain people. I actually do.
Well, you know what? There's people that, like I said, that come on the show and say their stories, and they have courage and they have guts. And then there's people that decide just to feed us a bone and to put us in one direction. And kind of, again, it's a smoke screen about what's lack. I mean, there is, let's just put it in perspective. At the moment, there is no transparency at the MNC because financials number one should be I don't know what they're doing the first 100 days. I mean, you get an auditor in there, you get the books, you release the financials to the public. The Métis people have a right to know. $30 million or $29 million. I know I keep harping on it. Where is the money. And why isn't anybody worried about the money? Or is it because it's Canadian taxpayer money that should go to veterans, so nobody's worried about
Nobody
pushing
cares
the
about
issue?
the
Is that
veterans.
what it's
Well,
the real story?
I seen Chartrand issuing out checks to veterans. I damn sure seen that, and that's a good thing. And again, if you don't like me complimenting Chartrand, you can kiss my ass point blank. You can go, yeah, we've had issues with Chartrand in the past. We have had issues with Chartrand and Chartier in the past. However, let's not ignore the obvious. This man's went around and handed out checks. What in the hell has Cassidy done except step in every picture she can get into and promote herself? An act of vanity, man. An act of vanity, man. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Let's talk about some of these bones that's been thrown our way. That whole last video we did of the show, talking about the
Registry.
MMF registry, right? That if you look in that, if you look in those documents, it says that that same they were saying those same documents, those same research and whatever you want to call it, was done on every organization. The only one they gave us was the paperwork against the MMF. Where in the hell is the other paperwork that was done? The same research, the same what I don't even know how you properly what was it
Well,
called?
the same
The registry.
registry, the same analysis on the registry was done for the other organizations.
We
Has
ain't
that
seen
ever,
none of it.
is that been made public, or are they completely 100% everything's a-okay with their registry? I mean, were we just throwing the bone to veer towards the MMF to mask?
What the hell's really going on? We're just a smoke screen, I guess, for what's really been going on. And we feel used. We feel used because we've been lied to. We've been lied to by people who told us that once Chartier was out of there, we'd have 100% transparency through the MNC. We have not seen that at all. We have not seen that at all. And get this, we disagree heavily with Chartrand on a lot of issues. And so we do have a lot of disagreements. However, you cannot ignore the obviouses.
And you know what? I think I'm going to sort of just mention a few of these because I have a lot of problems. These were posted on Twitter on January 11th, 2022 by Cassidy Karen. It says, since my election, one of my main priorities has been to continue sharing the stories of the Métis Nation. I had the pleasure, where she has the pleasure, of participating in 23 media interviews all across the homeland. And
And none of them was with us.
and you know what? Out of these 23 media interviews, when did you mention the financials in those 23 media issues, interviews?
And maybe you don't realize it, Cassidy, but Chartier would still be in power if it was not for a lot of behind the scenes work that we did. And so, yeah, you had 23 interviews. That's great. None of them with us, man. Because you know why you won't come on our show? It's clear. The first question we're going to ask you is about the financials. And then it's going to get uncomfortable, ain't it? Because then you're not going to want to answer those questions, are you? So why would you come on to our show knowing that we're going to ask the hard questions, right? But whatever. Spit in our face. We have supported the people. What in the hell do you have but support of a few people out there settled that put you in that position, that actually elected you into that position, talking about how they can mentor you, basically saying they picked the weakest person at the table who was unfit it seems, to lead a nation, because we're not seeing any improvement since Chartier's been out of there. Let's understand that 100%. And it's sad, man. It is sad that we lost somebody like with the caliber of Chartier, and now we have this individual in there that's all about herself, and she's even bragging about it.
And again, this is another post on Twitter from Cassidy Karen. Whether it's building relationships with government officials or other groups, these partnerships help us advocate for the Métis Nation and our priorities. I participated in 15 meetings with government officials in my first 100 days. So in those 15 meetings with government officials, did you ever mention once about the financial and what is left of the $30 million from the Métis Legacy Fund? Métis Veterans Legacy Fund. So you're promoting about all these 23 media interviews, 15 meetings with government officials. Have financials ever been mentioned? And again, another one is that to ensure that you know what we're doing and what we're working on next, the MNC issued 11 press releases since I took office as part of our commitment to transparency.
All right, where the
Completely.
hell is the financials then?
So
11? Not one of them on the damn Veterans Fund or the 60
so
scoop?
well Cassidy has said that they've issued 11 press releases in their commitment to transparency. So not one of those 11 press releases have you mentioned financials, the audit, and what's left of the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund or 60 scoop. I mean, this is actually complete bullshit. Lastly, over the last 100 days, I've been focusing on strengthening the relationship between the MNC and its governing members. Minutes after my election, we held the first Board of Governors meeting in over 3 years and have held four more since. So you're saying that you've held five BOG meetings. At any one of those five BOG meetings, has financials been discussed?
And has
Never once.
anybody sitting in the meeting even pushed for the issue for it to be discussed? And this is where our concerns come now for everyone who sits at that table at the MNC. As this is our concern right now with everyone who sits at that table at the MNC. We're concerned about each and every one of you. None of you are exempt for us having concerns because we don't see any courage there. We don't see not one person pushing to have those financials released. And we've waited. We've waited. We was going to actually do this show 2 months ago. And we've waited. You've had plenty of time. All y'all are about promoting your own self agenda, and it does not meet the needs of the Métis Nation. And this is a shame, folks. And don't make no mistake about it. We're on the other side of the fence of Chartrand and Chartier at this point. But however, hey, I mean, you can't ignore what the hell's in your face. The MMF's doing great things. What the hell is the other organization doing is so damn great, man.
Well, the point is, how many more 100 days is it going to be before we see any MNC financials? I mean, the information that we were fed obviously was bogus. I mean, financials are not top priority. Having meetings, interviews, media, photo ops seems to be the priority. That's not what is needed for a national organization. We need somebody that's strong, that can lead the people with truth and transparency. And it just seems like, again, the troubles with the Métis Nation of Alberta and now the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. We're not releasing the information to people in Saskatchewan that their treasurer has submitted their letter of resignation as of December 31st, 2021. Why? Why are you not making that public? And why is Robert LaFontaine not the treasurer anymore? Is
Yeah.
there an interim treasurer? Does anybody care?
What's right is right, man. And for you people in our circle that are not going to appreciate us doing this show, again, you can kiss our ass because I'm going to tell you this: what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And there's a lot of wrong going on right now on our side of the fence, is it not? There's a lot of wrong right now happening within different organizations that we are not supporting. And so we don't understand. And this is a question people have to ask: is it time to finally leave the MNC for good? Is it time? And that's a question that I'm not ready to answer right now. But I'm going to tell you that it damn sure is starting to look like it may be time to walk away from the MNC. The people at that table right now are very disrespectful to all of our listeners. They are disrespectful to our show. They are disrespectful to the Métis Nation. If they don't listen, the Métis that don't listen to us, the Métis that don't speak to, that don't support us or any of our people in our circle, you cannot be disrespectful to everybody. And it seems like you're only about your own self agenda, and somebody's inflated Cassidy's head so much, and it's just a vanity thing, man. It's bullshit.
And like I said, from what I'm hearing all over social media, I mean, it's becoming a problem. Uh, it's not again about photo ops. No financials have been released. There's nothing about all these big dollar amounts, and people are getting sick and tired of it. Just seeing somebody's face. It's not like CoverGirl, Maybelline. You're the face. The MNC doesn't
Shit.
need. I'm talking about the MNC doesn't need a brand or a
Right.
face. It needs a leader. It needs a warrior that's going to work
And
for its
she's no
people.
warrior, and she's
So,
damn sure no cover girl. So, we gotta look at
no
it like that.
disrespect intended, but
No, no,
it's all about
just truth.
vanity. It's
Just
all
truth.
about vanity. And like I said,
It
there's
ain't
no leadership.
disrespectful if it's truth. And so, you can say, hey, y'all being hard on Cassidy or whatever. Hard on Cassidy. She thinks it's all about her image, her being out there, her being in pictures, it's all about her. That position's not about her. It's about the Metis people, and it's a damn disappointment.
Well, you know what? She's not approachable either because since the MMF has left the MNC, I have been talking about the Métis Veterans Legacy Fund, tagging the MNC, tagging her on Twitter. There's no response. It's dead silence. So I guess answering legitimate questions from Métis people is beneath her, and she
Yeah,
doesn't feel that she needs to respond.
she hasn't responded to us.
No, and I mean, I've been mentioning this since day one, and people have said keep pushing the issue. There are legitimate questions that deserve answers, and she just couldn't be
She
bothered. The
can't be
MNC.
bothered.
Well, at one time I was actually blocked from the MNC, so
Oh yeah, I'm
I mean,
blocked now. But
but
here's the thing: she has no concern for no time to answer our questions, which means she does not respect any of our listeners. So if you're a Métis Warrior listener, she does not respect you at all. I mean, we asked the question for you, for us, for you. We asked the question, "Where's the financials?" And you know what? She couldn't be bothered to answer the damn question, which means she spit in each and every one of our listeners' face.
And like I said, there's people that still have hope for something new coming down the pipeline, but 100 days is a long time
I don't
with
have
really
hope.
nothing substantial to say again. And like I said, I'm just
The only thing,
bewildered about interviews, media interviews, photo ops. I mean,
but won't
let's get
respond to
real.
us.
Let's get real.
But and here's the thing, okay? So let's look at it this way. She is not fit to lead the Métis Nation. In our opinion, she is not fit. She has not proven herself fit. The only hope we can have coming down the road is that they get somebody in there that is fit. Again, I think a happy medium, a happy middle ground will be put Will Goudin in there as MNC president. Will he do it? He probably won't do it. But it would be very interesting to see if he would be interested in doing that. But yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's just too much time has been lapsed, and it's just a lot of people are in disbelief of what has not been going on with the MNC, and everybody just seems to be sitting down and just let everything pass by, and it's not the way that the Métis Nation should be run, and it's
And,
just it's ridiculous.
and you got to understand that we've been the voice. We've been the people that have actively fought to have Chartier removed as president and have a new president put in there. But we are damn not happy with the new president of the MNC, Cassidy. I mean, right now she's doing a horrible job. Horrible job. And you know what? Again, I didn't even want to do a damn show. I'm so aggravated right now. But anyway, y'all been requesting it. I hope this satisfies y'all's request. But
So much turmoil going on again with Métis Nation of Alberta and now the treasurer of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan tendering a resignation and nothing made public. I mean, what's going on?
that's it for me.
Take care.